Man, I had a great question from a subscriber. Who should pay on a date? The guy or the girl? That's what we're going to talk about today. All right, without even thinking about it, most people say the guy should pay, of course, but there are maybe different situations where that's not true. So it's not always just go with tradition, go with what you think the guy pays. Sometimes the rules change a little bit. Now, I don't think there's any big world, well, not world, but across America, cultural etiquette that says who should pay and when, but there are some kind of guidelines and most people follow those, but some don't. Some go in with the assumption that the guy is going to pay, and then the guy gets stuck, and then he kind of shies away from the dating scene because he's going broke. All he's doing is going on these dates and paying for the whole thing, himself and somebody else, and it can be really expensive, right? So anyway, I'm going to tell you maybe some different reasons why the guy shouldn't pay. But let's just start out. Number one, the traditional way, if a guy asks a girl out, he should pay. There's no question about that. The guy should pay if he asks her out because that's kind of the way it goes. That's tradition. And if they go out, if they hit it off and they go out 2 times, 3 times, even 4 times, the guy should pay. That's the way it goes when he initiates it and he asked her out and he's kind of the initiator of the relationship. So yeah, he should do that, right? That's pretty simple. I think we can all agree with the normal situation tradition. But in these days, sometimes the girl asks the guy out. Change it up a little bit. But if a girl is bold enough to just say, hey, I've been kind of checking you out and I would really like to go out with you, and she initiates it, it can go 2 ways. Either she pays and she can volunteer it and she can say it right from the start, and she should, to take that burden away from him. She should ask him out and say, and it's my treat. But if not, she could at least say, it's Dutch. So, hey, I'd love to go out with you. I don't know if you're interested, but if you are, let's go out. We'll each pay our own way, kind of no commitment, but I'd really love to spend some time with you. Okay, that's cool too. So in that situation where a girl asks the guy out, either she's going to say it right there and I'll pay, it's my treat. Or she could also say it, hey, no commitment, let's just go Dutch, which is cool because it totally takes that burden and worry and concern off of the guy. So girls, if you're listening, use that in your little arsenal. Say those 2 things along with your ask. It helps the guy out tremendously. Okay, what if it's an online app, like a dating app, and you both swiped right or whatever it is that you do on those things, you both mutually agree on that dating app that you're going to go out. Can't always be the guy because those dating apps are usually for people who date a lot. And they want to go through, they want to find somebody every Friday night, maybe twice a week, maybe twice, 2 or 3 times a month. They want to do that. It can't and should not always be the guy. So if you're on a dating app, you pretty much go in expecting that it's going to be Dutch, that both of you are going to pay your own way. But the way around that, guys, if you're on dating apps a lot, keep your first date simple. Just go out for coffee and dessert. Go to a park. Do something outside. Do something fun. Do something that doesn't cost a lot of money. You don't have to go to this big shrimp and steak and lobster dinner every time you go out and spend, hundreds of dollars. You don't have to do that, and you shouldn't do that. You should just keep it simple, and that way you can always take the tab because you might come out, $40 and you've done the whole thing. Go for a bike ride in the park. That doesn't cost anything. Make your own little picnic. You can make it yourself and treat her. So there's several ways around that also, but by default, online apps dating should be Dutch. But the guy, to keep it simple because you might be doing this a lot, plan your date to just not cost a lot of money, right? That's not a hard thing to do. Ooh, here's a warning sign. Red flags should go off, you online dater guys. When you're going through and you do find somebody you want to go out with and you're suggesting that you go out on a first date and you're kind of coming up with the ideas, hey, let's go to the park. If that person says, And this could be either way. The guy could do it or the girl could do it with the assumption that the other person's paying. If they say, hey, no, there's this new restaurant I've heard a lot about, I would really like to go try that out. And you know it's expensive. And you know they just want to go out and get a meal. Unfortunately, you have to look for those predators out there in the online dating world because they do exist, and that's sad and it stinks, but they do exist. There are girls and guys out there on the apps who only want to go out, have fun, and have a free meal out to a nice restaurant. There are people that do that. So guys, girls, be conscientious of that and listen for those clues because it might be a red flag and you just put water on it immediately. Nah, you know what? Let's just keep it simple. Let's do this. Keep the upper hand. If they insist, no, I really want to go to this, and say, then go to it and tell me about it later. Let me know what you thought about it. That might be a way that you can get around that. But don't fall in that trap of taking these people out to these nice restaurants every time. Because here's the simple fact. They are using you. Now, what if it's a blind date? Ooh, that's different. If it's a blind date, once again, you go with tradition. The guy should pay. If somebody set you two people up, you go with default tradition, which is the guy pays. But keep it reasonable. You don't want to spend more than $100 on that night, probably significantly less than that, especially a first date. But go do something fun, plan something where you got a lot of just communication going on, a lot of activity going on, but not a lot of money coming out of your pocket. So keep it fun, ask the right questions to get to know each other. Blind date, yep, let the guy take the bill on that one for sure. Then the last scenario is, what if you've been dating a while? So no matter how it initiated, whether it was online, whether it was traditional and you just asked them out, whether it was blind date, if you're dating a while, and by a while, I mean after the fourth time, if you're into your fifth date, you pretty much should ping back and forth. She pays, you pay, she pays, you pay. That's the way that should work. Or simply go Dutch every time you go. Then you order what you want because you know you're paying for yours. She can order what she wants. She knows what she's paying for hers. So after the fourth date, that fifth date, if you're continually dating, all rules are off the table. Now it's mutual respect and not taking advantage of each other. You should go Dutch or stagger the payment. Hope that helps. That's just some ideas to throw out there to you to kind of break the traditions and really just come clean with it, because it's really unspoken. Not a lot of people talk about who should pay, and unfortunately it always falls in the guy's lap, and that's just simply not fair. So anyway, no matter what side of the party you're on, listen to those rules. Be the bigger person, be the nicer person, and just say it right out front. Call it right out front. Don't make the other person you're going out with squirm and wonder who should pay, and then they're all worried all night long looking at the bill as it gets more and more as you order wine and another glass of wine. Don't put the fear in their eyes. Just lay it on the table. We're going Dutch. It's cool. I'm paying this one. It's cool. Just communicate, because you're building the foundations of a relationship that might go into the future. Hope that helps. Take care, guys. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.